Welcome to Russia and the city of Ekaterinburg, which now plays host to its inaugural event on the IJF World Judo Tour, as it takes over from Tyumen as the location for Russia's Grand Slam. As the nation's fourth largest city, Ekaterinburg is a natural choice to stage this prestigious event. With judo, one of Russia's most popular sports, an event of this magnitude saw the city's sports palace packed with fans, as Ekaterinburg seized its chance in the spotlight. The opening day of the Grand Slam marked 100 days until the start of the World Championships in Budapest this summer. So the draw saw all eyes on some of the big-name entries touted for glory. In particular, Japanese head coach Inoue Kosei was using the event to test out two of his selected athletes, Nagayama Ryuju and Hashimoto Soichi. How would they fare in Russia? We'll see raw emotion for World Judo Tour veteran Miryam Roper as she represents Panama for the first time. And we'll catch up with Russia's own Olympic champion Khasan Khalmurzaev after his return to action here in Ekaterinburg. We start with Nagayama in the men's under 60 kg division. The junior world champion was once again turning heads here in Ekaterinburg as he looked to take a second Grand Slam title after his surprise win in Tokyo last year. Some dynamic Ippon judo saw him through to the final. Along the way, he encountered the tough Mongolian Dashdavar, once again proving his talent by dispatching the veteran with an Uranagi Ippon. An even sterner test of his World Championship credentials awaited him in the final, in the form of world number 3, Amaran Papanashvili. The unorthodox Georgian was also in fine form throughout the day. Would Nagayama be able to handle him in the final?
Nagayama in blue. Junior World Champion in 2015. Beautiful Uchimata there on Papanashvili. Look at the unusual grip on the sleeve there. Takes him right the way over. So now Papanashvili got to do something major. Oh, and a lovely counter from Nagayama. Papanashvili went over the top and he got countered. Beautiful stuff here from the Junior World Champion. So Papanashvili got it all to do now. Nagayama well in control. Just over a minute to go. Oh, Ashiwaza! And that was a good wazari. Beautiful Ashiwaza there. Papanashvili doesn't know what to do with him. Double stab Diashi and it was beautifully taken. And Papanashvili, well, he got taken apart.
As an emerging favourite for gold in Budapest this summer, we took the chance to get to know Nagayama better.
I started judo because my friend in the neighbourhood invited me. My favourite technique in tachiwaza is seoinage. Since I'm short, I feel it suits me the most as I can get underneath bigger opponents and throw them with seoinage. My favourite technique in Neiwaza is Yushiro Kezakatame. It can be done in the most efficient way following seoinage, so that's why it's my favourite. My judo hero is Mr. Tadahiro Nomura. He is a three-time Olympic champion and I compete in the same division as he did. I admire him a lot. My favourite memory on the World Judo Tour was the Tokyo Grand Slam, because that's where I won a Grand Slam for the first time. I feel that my personality has grown since I started judo, and that's why judo for me is life itself.
The women's under 70 kg category saw high hopes for a home gold as Elena Prokopenko made it through to the final. Along the way, she took some major scalps, including that of Canada's Kalita Zupancic, and then Tokyo Grand Slam champion Nizoe Saki at the semi-final stage, whom she saw off with this fantastic counter-attack Ippon. The final pitted her against surprise European champion Sanne van Dijk of the Netherlands, who'd also demonstrated clinical throwing skills as she defeated Samardzic of Bosnia and Herzegovina in her semi-final match. Van Dijk, perhaps a new force in the division, against Prokopenko and the home crowd, who would emerge victorious.
Been on great form today, Prokopenko. But Van Dijk, she has real class. Look at that though, Sumagaeshi there from the Russian. Beautifully taken, gets the Wazari, and the European champion has got to come from behind. Seconds left, oh, look, she takes her over Yoko Satemi and straight into the hold down, and Prokopenko made a mistake. The dying seconds, and it was beautifully taken there. Yoko Satemi was up, and she takes the Russian over directly into the hold down. Transition was superb, and she holds her for the Ippon. European champion, and now her first Grand Slam win. It looks good for the coming World Championships.
Starting the day as under 57 kilogram favourite was Olympic champion Rafaela Silva of Brazil, who is still on the hunt for her first gold of the year. At the semi-final stage, she once again suffered defeat, this time at the hands of Japan's 2014 world champion Udaka Nai. Silva once again disappointed. Facing Udaka in the final would be Miryam Roper, formerly of Germany. The veteran competitor now represents her father's country, Panama, and Ekaterinburg would be her first World Judo Tour event flying their flag. A hold down at the semi-final stage against Mongolia's Lakhagva Tagu meant she would guarantee Panama their first ever World Judo Tour medal. But for Roper, only gold would do. Could Udaka stop her in the final?
Roper really having the tournament of her life. Representing Panama here, of course, and she takes Udaka over. Well, it looked a bit messy there. Sumagaeshi, though, the traditional way you could say, and she takes Udaka down for a Wazari score. Now Udaka has to try and get the score back. Now Tayatoshi, that's definitely a Wazari, so she pulls it back. Still losing by 2 Shidos, though. Is that going to affect her at the end? 46 seconds left. She chases, Udaka chases. Roper holding on! Oh, she takes her backwards! And Roper gets it. Well, she changed direction there, and Udaka made a mistake. It wasn't a strong attack. And have a look at the drive here. Well, actually, it was the Kosoto from Roper that started it off. And she drove Udaka back onto her back, and she gets the Ippon. Panama have their first ever gold medal and their first medal ever on this World Tour. And there's the lady that gets it. Miryam Roper, a brilliant performance, and the tears say it all. Great emotion from a great fighter, and she did it in style.
I'm really proud of my judo today, and I'm really happy to represent Panama now, my father's country. And yeah, winning the first ever medal for Panama, directly the golden one, I can't describe my feelings.
Number 3 in our list of the top Ippons from Ekaterinburg is a superb counter-attack from Germany's Anna-Maria Wagner to take under 78 kilogram bronze, stopping her opponent's Osoto Gari dead before striking back with one of her own for the win. Great stuff from Wagner. Comedy value earns Russia's Magomed Magomedov the number 2 spot. Having thrown for what he thought was Ippon in the under 90 kilograms bronze medal contest, Magomedov started to celebrate, only for his coach to order him to secure the hold down, which he did as his stunned opponent was still recovering. The throw was downgraded to Wazari, meaning it was the pin which gave Magomedov victory. The moral of the story in attack and defence: never take your eye off the ball. Our top Ippon came in the under 100 kilogram bronze medal matchup between Lauren Bowler of Austria and Latvia's Yevgenis Borodavko.
Borodavko pushing forwards and, well, having real problems here with Bowler of Austria, who's had a good performance. Uranagi! Oh, that was massive. Wow, he really made sure of that one. Borodavko, well, came in for an attack. It wasn't a strong attack, And look at that, he just puts him flat on his back. That was a brilliant uranagi, really well controlled. Look at the left arm there, controls the midsection, and look how his other hand just puts him flat on the points of his shoulders for the biggest ippon.
The under 81 kilogram division saw the return of Russia's reigning Olympic champion, Khasan Khalmurzaev, as he had chosen to don his golden back patch for the first time on home soil. Khalmurzaev peaked at just the right time last year, winning the Havana Grand Prix and the European Championships in the run-up to the Olympic Games, where his momentum carried him forwards and into the history books. What's more, he is one of a pair. His twin brother Kusen fights at under 90 kilograms, and both will make their World Championship debuts this year. In Ekaterinburg, Khalmurzaev reached the final after defeating Frank de Witt of the Netherlands at the semi-final stage to set up a showdown with Hungary's Ungvari Attila in the final. Would it be a golden homecoming for Khalmurzaev?
Well, the home crowd absolutely loving this, of course. The Olympic champion Khalmurzaev started a bit tame earlier in the day, but now starting to come to form. Ungvari got to stop that arm. That's the danger, Uchimata, and it's all over! What an ippon that was! Just 1 minute gone and the crowd really appreciate their Olympic champion here. Khalmurzaev comes to form at the right time, and this is a great warm-up for the World Championships. And it will be his first ever World Championships, and he'll be fighting those with his twin brother Hussein. There's the Uchimata, gets the elevation, a couple of readjustments with that support foot there, and it takes him right the way over. Beautifully taken. Look at the head driving down. Look at the rotation and the control. What an ippon.
We spoke to Khalmurzaev after the dust had settled on his dream return to action.
Честно говоря, выступая у себя дома в России, на родине, я
It was really exciting for me to fight in front of the home crowd. It was really exciting, especially when I scored ippon. I'm glad I made the people happy, and when they were cheering me, I found it really helpful. But also, fighting in front of the home crowd was a big responsibility. I felt responsible for the whole competition. But it was very nice to have the support from all the people and to win the gold medal. It was nice that people greeted me and congratulated me, and to know that I made my fans happy. Uchimata is my favorite throw, because I think it looks beautiful. I started to work on it when I was young. I was impressed when I saw famous judoka doing it, like Kosei Inoue. So I started to train it myself. I have a twin brother, as you all know. He competes in the under 90 kilogram weight category. Since our childhood, we've always competed with each other. We wanted to prove to each other who is the best, and actually, it was very useful. I think having each other as rivals has helped to make us both stronger. Sometimes I would win, and then he would win. We were always joking with each other. As for the weight category, he was always heavier than me. But we actually fought in the same weight category at some international competitions before he moved up to under 90 kilograms. I have an interesting story to tell you. As I remember, it was an international junior tournament, a very good one, like this one today. There were judoka from lots of different countries competing. That day, we both competed in the under 81 kilogram category. At the time, neither of us were that famous, so for the whole day, people thought we were the same person. I would come out to fight, and then it would be Hussein, but never at the same time. But as it happened, we then had to face each other in a medal contest, so we both came out to fight, and as we waited by the side of the tatami, the referee was confused for a second. He looked to the left, and then to the right, and then started to smile. It was only then that him and the whole audience realized that we were actually two people, but that we just looked the same. It was a really funny moment for us, and we all had a good laugh.
Чемпионата мира мы действительно готовимся с братом.
I am preparing for the World Championship right now, together with my brother, and of course, we feel the pressure. But I don't worry that much. And in fact, today, I felt more pressure because I was competing in front of a home audience, and it was a Grand Slam. But still, I had a great experience today, even though I was really nervous. I'm going to keep training, and what's meant to be, will be. I'll try to keep in mind that everything is possible. Our goal, of course, is a gold medal, but also to have good performances. Another thing about this World Championships, on top of the fact that we are competing together, for both of us, it is going to be our first senior World Championships. The support from my brother has been really important since my childhood. We have grown up cheering for each other and supporting one another. So, we will support each other no matter what, and we will try our best to perform well.
Japan's former world champion Kondo was back on top with her first World Judo Tour gold of the year in Ekaterinburg at under 48 kilograms. At under 52 kilograms, Brazil's Erika Miranda completed a comeback in the final to defeat Russia's Alessia Kuznetsova by Wazari in golden score. It was her first World Judo Tour gold in over 2 years. World number 8 Martina Tridos emerged victorious at under 63 kilograms after the German pinned Ekaterina Volkova in the final to push herself back up to within the all-important top 4 in the rankings. Japan's Mami Umeki took her second gold of the year in Ekaterinburg as the reigning world champion forced Great Britain's Natalie Powell to submit in the under 78 kilogram final. Flaunting her world championship credentials at over 78 kilograms was Japan's Asahina Sera. This wonderful Oguruma at the semi-final stage was a real treat for judo fans, as Asahina booked her place in the final. Germany's Yasmin Kulbs was also showing flair, as she too made it to the final, but was unable to match Asahina, losing out to her by a Wazari, as the Japanese made it 3 Grand Slam golds in a row. Will Asahina be crowned world champion later this year? The men's under 66 kilogram category saw Abdullah Abduzalilov in fine form. The Russian is a throwing machine, as Portugal's Sergiu Alenik and then Mongolia's Altansuk Dovdon found out, as he swept past them on his way to the final. His opponent there made a dramatic comeback in his semi-final. Behind by this Wazari to Jakub Shamilov, Brazil's Charles Chibana dug deep to throw the Russian for Ippon in a dramatic end to the contest. A perfect example of how a judo contest is never over until the final buzzer. Chibana's luck was at an end, however, as the final saw him disqualified for bridging on his neck to avoid a score. It gave Russia their first gold of the Grand Slam, as Abduzalilov saluted the anthem. Japan's Nagasawa Kenta took his first Grand Slam gold at under 90 kilograms. He was on blistering form all day, throwing Canada's Louis Kreiber-Gagnon and Noldan to end of the Netherlands for Ippon, with textbook Ashigurumas. In the final, he defeated Hungary's Toth Christian with a pin, as an exhausted Toth eventually submitted. An impressive performance from Nagasawa. There was another debut Grand Slam win at under 100 kilograms, as Miklos Ciginic took a first World Judo Tour gold of any kind, after the Hungarian arm-locked Russia's Niaz Ilyasov in the final. With the World Championships on home soil this summer, what better time for Ciginic to hit form? Making the final in style at over 100 kilograms was Brazil's David Moura. He showed why he has a reputation for beautiful judo in his semi-final matchup, throwing Mongolia's Temyelin Batulga with a sublime uchimata for Ippon. His opponent, however, was not to be overshadowed. Georgia's Levani Matiashvili is also known for his throwing skills and came up with this brilliant standing shoulder throw against Austria's Stefan Hegi. He then dug deep to see off Moura's teammate, the enormous Rafael Silva, with another shoulder throw for Ippon. The final would see the pair cancel each other out. There would be no fireworks. A penalty to Matiashvili in golden score ensured it would be Moura taking gold back to Brazil. The under 73 kilogram division is dominated by Japan. They have taken the last 5 World Championship titles in the division, and their reigning Olympic champion Inoue Kosei is arguably the best judoka in the world, pound for pound. But Japan have another world beater in their ranks. Hashimoto Soichi is World Masters champion and has taken Grand Slam gold in both Tokyo and Paris. Undefeated since December 2015, he is an incredible understudy to the brilliant Ono and will take his place at the World Championships this summer as the Olympic champion takes time off to finish his studies. A dynamic thrower, Hashimoto is great to watch, in the semi-final executing a perfect Tayatoshi to score ippon against Canada's Arthur Margilidon. Hashimoto once again showing his amazing judo to the world. Before we see him face Brazil's Marcelo Contini in the final, we asked Neil to talk us through his trademark throw, Sodi Surikomi Goshi.
Hashimoto of Japan, one of the rising stars of World Judo at the moment, has an amazing Sodi Surikomi Goshi, but he does it in 2 different ways. What we do first of all is have a look at how he does it off the 2 sleeves. 2 sleeves, and he gets action-reaction here and goes all the way through for the Sodi. But the interesting thing about Hashimoto is that he can do it off one hand, and not many people can do that. And he sets it up from a cross grip. So he creates space from the cross grip. But the other interesting thing is that this shoulder here, when he puts the hips across, goes right the way underneath the armpit here, and then takes his opponent over. Slightly unusual way of doing it, safe way of doing it, but he gets a lot of success with it. Let's have a little look and see how he does it and how much success he has in this competition. Could go left and right, Hashimoto. Contini, of course, knows that. Cross grips a lot as well, Hashimoto, to set it all up. Now what's he gonna do? Seiragi! Contini couldn't stop it. Just look at his hips, how they go right the way through there, and their head plays such a massive part as well. Gets the Wazari. And Hashimoto looks so dangerous all the time. Crowd loving it. Don't forget, he's the number 2 to Ono. And look at that! Sodi this time, off the cross grip. So he gets the cross grip, then he lets go, and then he pops the arm right the way underneath there for the Sodi. Brilliantly executed. Just creates that little bit of space, just enough. And he gets the shoulder right the way underneath the armpit. So Hashimoto now still striving for the ippon. Contini can't do anything with him. Now, almost there. Now switches it to the right. And now left again. He gets the ippon. Hashimoto showing absolute brilliance. That was left first of all, then a right-handed technique, and then a left one. And you've got to look at the clock because it's the last 10 seconds, and he was still striving for the ippon. 2 Wazaris already on the board. He could have just rested on that, but no. He went for the ippon there as the seconds were ticking away. Left-handed Sodi Surikomi Goshi, didn't quite have the angle. Then look how he switches to the, well, Osoto, wasn't it? And then he goes left-handed again, and Contini goes right the way over the top. Brilliant stuff there from Hashimoto. An incredible display of ippon judo. Never satisfied with just a score. He strove for the ippon, and he gets it. And he's got to be one of the favourites for the world title later this year.
So that's it from Ekaterinburg, and another Judo Grand Slam, as the World Judo Tour moves closer and closer to its showpiece event, the World Championships. Could Roper win more medals for Panama? Will Nagayama and Hashimoto strike gold for Japan? And will the name Khalmurzaev once again be up in lights? Join us next month from Mexico for the Cancun Grand Prix.